A disconnecting means is required after the utility transformer secondary is mandated by National Electrical Code Section 230.70 on. This section details the necessity for a disconnecting means to isolate the power source for safety and maintenance purposes. An overcurrent protection device, or OCPD, is also required on the line side of the fire pump disconnecting means. This overcurrent protection device must be rated for the full load current of the fire pump and any other loads connected to the same transformer secondary. The overcurrent protection device can be either a circuit breaker or a fuse, both serving the purpose of protecting the circuit from excessive current that could lead to overheating or fire. It is important to accurately calculate the full load current to ensure the overcurrent protection device is appropriately sized. The calculation should account for all potential loads that the transformer secondary is expected to serve, not just the fire pump itself. This ensures that the overcurrent protection device will trip under overload conditions, preventing damage to the equipment and ensuring safety. You cannot run the building service conductors from the utility transformer into a trough or junction box and tap into it there for the fire pump ahead of the service disconnecting means. This arrangement is not permitted by National Electrical Code Section 310.13b. The service disconnecting means must be the first device connected to the line side of the building service conductors. This requirement is in place to ensure that the service disconnecting means can effectively isolate the entire building's electrical system from the utility power supply. Bypassing this requirement by tapping into the service conductors ahead of the disconnecting means would compromise the ability to quickly and safely energize the building's electrical system in the event of an emergency. To elaborate on the disconnecting means requirement, it is important to understand its function in the context of electrical safety. The disconnecting means serves as a readily accessible switch or breaker that can be used to completely cut off power to the fire pump. This is crucial for maintenance, repair, and emergency situations. Without a disconnecting means, it would be difficult to safely work on the fire pump or to isolate it from the power supply in case of a malfunction. The National Electrical Code specifies the type of disconnecting means that is acceptable, as well as its location and accessibility requirements. Typically, the disconnecting means must be readily accessible and located in a place where it is easily identifiable. This ensures that anyone who needs to de-energize the fire pump can do so quickly and without difficulty. Furthermore, the disconnecting means must be clearly labeled to indicate its purpose, which is to disconnect the fire pump. This helps to avoid confusion and ensures that the correct disconnecting means is used in an emergency. The sizing of the overcurrent protection device is also a critical aspect of fire pump installation. As mentioned earlier, the overcurrent protection device must be rated for the full load current of the fire pump and any other loads connected to the same transformer secondary. The full load current is the maximum amount of current that the fire pump and other loads are expected to draw under normal operating conditions. It is important to accurately calculate this current to ensure that the overcurrent protection device is properly sized. If the overcurrent protection device is too small, it will trip prematurely, causing unnecessary interruptions in the fire pump's operation. On the other hand, if the overcurrent protection device is too large, it will not provide adequate protection against overloads and short circuits. The calculation of the full load current should take into account the fire pump's horsepower rating, voltage, and any other relevant factors. The National Electrical Code provides guidelines and tables for determining the appropriate overcurrent protection device size based on these factors. Additionally, it is important to consider the inrush current of the fire pump motor when selecting the overcurrent protection device. The inrush current is the surge of current that occurs when the motor is first started. This current can be several times higher than the full load current, and it can cause the overcurrent protection device to trip if it is not properly sized to handle it. There are different types of overcurrent protection devices that are designed to handle inrush currents, such as time delay fuses and inverse time circuit breakers. These devices allow a brief period of overload without tripping, which is necessary to accommodate the motor's inrush current. Understanding the limitations specified in National Electrical Code Section 310.15b is essential for ensuring the safety and reliability of the electrical system. This section of the code prohibits tapping into the building's service conductors ahead of the service disconnecting means for the purpose of supplying power to the fire pump. The rationale behind this prohibition is to maintain the integrity of the service disconnecting means as the primary means of isolating the building's electrical system from the utility power supply. If the fire pump were to be connected directly to the service conductors ahead of the disconnecting means, it would not be possible to completely de-energize the fire pump in the event of an emergency. This could create a safety hazard for firefighters and other emergency personnel. Moreover, it could complicate maintenance and repair work on the fire pump, as it would not be possible to safely isolate it from the power supply. The proper way to supply power to the fire pump is to connect it to a separate circuit that is fed from the load side of the service disconnecting means. This circuit should have its own overcurrent protection device and disconnecting means, which should be sized and installed in accordance with the National Electrical Code requirements. By following these requirements, it is possible to ensure that the fire pump is properly protected and that it can be safely isolated from the power supply when necessary. Furthermore, it is important to consider the coordination of the overcurrent protection devices in the fire pump circuit with the overcurrent protection devices in the rest of the building's electrical system. Coordination refers to the process of selecting and setting the overcurrent protection devices so that the device closest to the fault will trip first, while the other devices remain closed. This helps to minimize the extent of the outage and to prevent unnecessary interruptions in the power supply. Coordination studies are typically performed by qualified electrical engineers to ensure that the overcurrent protection devices are properly coordinated. In addition to the requirements for disconnecting means, overcurrent protection devices, and service conductor connections, there are other important considerations for fire pump installations. Firstly, the fire pump must be supplied by a reliable power source. This typically means that it should be connected to a separate service or feeder that is not subject to the same interruptions as the rest of the building's electrical system. Secondly, the fire pump must be installed in a location that is protected from fire, flood, and other hazards. This may require the use of fire-rated construction materials and other protective measures. Thirdly, the fire pump must be regularly inspected and maintained to ensure that it is in good working order. This includes checking the pump's operation, inspecting the electrical connections, and testing the overcurrent protection devices. By following these guidelines and requirements, it is possible to ensure that the fire pump installation is safe, reliable, and effective in providing fire protection for the building. In summary, the National Electrical Code requires a disconnecting means after the utility transformer secondary, an overcurrent protection device on the line side of the fire pump disconnecting means, and prohibits tapping into the building service conductors ahead of the service disconnecting means for the fire pump. These requirements are in place to ensure the safety and reliability of the electrical system and to provide effective fire protection for the building. Ignoring these requirements can lead to serious consequences, including equipment damage, fire hazards, and potential injury or death. Therefore, it is essential to consult with a qualified electrical engineer or contractor to ensure that the fire pump installation is in compliance with all applicable codes and standards. By adhering to these regulations and best practices, you can ensure the safety and proper functionality of the fire pump system. The disconnecting means serves as a critical safety feature, allowing for the complete isolation of the fire pump from the power source during maintenance or emergencies. Its accessibility and clear labeling are vital for quick and safe operation. The overcurrent protection device protects the fire pump and connected circuits from damage due to excessive current, and its proper sizing is essential for both reliable operation and safety. Understanding and adhering to National Electrical Code Section 310.15b is paramount to maintaining the integrity of the service disconnecting means and ensuring the fire pump can be effectively isolated when needed. Furthermore, the reliability of the power source, the physical protection of the fire pump, and regular inspection and maintenance are all crucial components of a comprehensive fire pump installation strategy. These measures collectively contribute to a safer and more reliable fire protection system. Ultimately, consulting with qualified professionals and strictly adhering to the National Electrical Code guidelines are essential steps in ensuring a compliant and effective fire pump installation.